Welcome to Unapologetically Badass. We are so excited. We have such a special guest today, Dr. Carmen Paredes, and we're going to talk about burnout to boardroom, the untold rise of a true badass Latina leader. So,
yeah, how exciting. Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited. So let's start with first of all, thank you very much. And hi, Sierra. How are you, sweetie?
Hi, everyone. I'm amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining the show. Carmen, I can't wait to dive into this. It's so exciting.
Oh my gosh. So Carmen and I met because we are gratefully humbled that we're both being awarded and recognized with the IAOTP, the International Association of Top Professionals. So I get to meet Carmen in person in December in Vegas, baby. Right. And then when we were on a Zoom, a networking event that they held, I immediately, once she explained, we all had like a 30-second commercial. And, obviously we all know when we click with someone, I was like, oh, yes, I click. She's my people. So
it was instant. It was instant.
It was instant. So, yeah. So I'm so happy that you are on. You're a true badass. Why don't you share with the audience, tell them who you are, what you do, and all that good stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, don't hold back.
Where do I start? Okay, so I am a Latina immigrant, first generation, came to the United States about 25 years ago with everything I own in 3 suitcases. I had these big dreams and I thought I could conquer everything just like this because I had the education and the passion. And then I just realized I just kept hitting my forehead against the brick wall time and time over again. I didn't expect so much gap in culture, language, gender discrepancy, equality, bias, all the things. But if you tell me I cannot do something, I'll tell you, watch me. And so, right? And so I said, I'll do it because I need to prove myself that I can do this. So after a horrible, almost deadly burnout story, I made it to the top. And I became the first Latina Vice President at the largest telecommunications company in Alaska. And then when I got there, I'm like, oh, this is cute. Corner office, all the things I thought I wanted. But then I'm like, no, I really need to make sure other women can make it too. And apply all the lessons that I learned. And that's when I said okay, bye-bye, corporate. I'm going to go now and speak, coach, and inspire women around the world. And that's basically where I am.
Okay, so that didn't happen overnight, Carmen. So hold up. Wait a minute. Little pieces there. So you made it to the top as far as you thought you could. You're like, okay, this is the dream. No, this is not the dream. So has it always been a passion to help women? Let's just ask that first.
Yes, of course. It's always, since I was a little girl, I was the protector. Not only women, I was the protector. I grew up in a dysfunctional household because I had an evil stepdad. And my brother is autistic, high functioning. I mean, the guys, besides my son, who is also autistic, they are like the smartest people I know in this planet. But back then, I mean, he's 47 or something now. Back then, I mean, autism, what's that, right? So he was just odd. And he would get bullied. And I was a black belt in karate since I was 13. So I would.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Well, it was a self-defense against my stepdad, right? All these things is people, first reaction is like, oh my God, you're so amazing. It's like, yeah, but I now I know what I did. Back then I just, I'm just gonna do it. But now after healing myself, I know I need to be protecting. So, I became this persona who was always protecting the underdog.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So women and men along the way. And so throughout my career, I also did that because I was in a male-dominated industry. I'm also an engineer by education. So that's a male-dominated career. Yeah. And so we were always together. And I was the bold one who will drop as many F-bombs as needed to get people out of the way.
Point. You're like, my point will get across, people.
Oh, it will get across. And I'm also Sagittarius. So if you know anything about Sagittarius, it's like, do not mess with this lady, right? And so, yes, so I use my power and my influence for the good, right?
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And yes, I will always have the passion to empower women.
Okay, good.
I love that. I love that. And so how did your comeback? So like going through corporate and you were like, okay, I'm done. How did that look like for you? Like what happened that you were like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then what did you do? Because
most of us just don't go to sleep and then wake up and say we're done. We're thinking about it for months, right? Or years in some cases.
Yeah.
So about 2 years before I made it, I almost died of burnout. And when I say that, I am not exaggerating. I had bleeding ulcers and I had to be flown from Alaska to Scottsdale for the Mayo Clinic. Oh, because the cute doctors here is like, oh, we'll just do a surgery. And I'm like, how many of those have you done? And they're like, well, we know how to do it. I'm like, very cute. No, it's not going to happen. I want a person who does 10 of these a day to do it. Oh, but you're bleeding. You're not going to make it. I'm like, well, I'm going to make it in your care. So I'm just going to give myself the best chance. So anyways, long story short, had the surgery, recovered. But with that, this is where really I started looking into why did I burn out? Like what happened?
Yes.
I was working like a maniac. I was, but it wasn't because I had to. No one was going to fire me. I mean, I've always been, a very high level contributor and all that. But, the monkeys in the head were telling me that I still needed to keep proving my worth because I'm a Latina, I have an accent, I'm a woman, I'm a mom, single mom. And so I always felt like I needed to keep proving. And so and I'm going to say that too. I talk about this in my first TED Talk. I get so much dopamine from getting things done. It's addictive. And so I actually study, because I'm a nerd, I study a lot of the neuroscience of it. And it's really like an addiction. Some people are addicted to crack. Some people are addicted to alcohol. For me, I mean, I never tried drugs, but like, I used to smoke. And one day I'm like, I'm not going to smoke anymore. It was never addicted to, but work gave me such a reward dependency cycle that it was insane. Now, almost dying and having 3 kids and being a single mom did something to me that, slapped me in the face, like, come on, wake up.
And because it's not an option. It's not an option as a single mom to leave your kids at a young age. Like you're like, I have to do something differently.
Correct. And the doctor's like, you got to manage your cortisol levels and your stress. I'm like, try to be an executive, right?
Right.
They also said I need to stop drinking coffee. I'm like, first that. No. Like, I can stop doing many things.
You're like, I will say what?
So I started, reflecting on what's happening, what's driving it, and whatnot. So I started slowly thinking about it, and so I changed how I led, how I work, how I showed up. And I think that created this space to understand that I was chasing the title, the status, the prestige, but that's not really what I wanted. And in leading, I always had in a contained form what I'm doing now. I was always able to influence and help people have better lives. But in a way, I was kind of like self-containing myself to this little 50 people group. But now I have the world. The world is my oyster.
Yes. And if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to give me specifics, but about how old are you, or what decade of life did you go from corporate world to I'm going to be a total badass entrepreneur?
Yeah, it's going to be 3 years ago this November when I quit.
Okay.
So I was 46.
Yeah.
I love that. And that seems to be that common theme. That Sarah and I, we talk to so many people Yeah, it's the age of over 40 when you kind of sit back and you reflect going, what the fuck am I doing all this for?
Yes.
Right. And what do I want my future self to look like now? And you kind of, a lot of women reevaluate. And I give you a lot of credit because the difference is a lot of women don't make the change. They feel they're stuck where they are because of fear of the unknown or fear of success or fear of what other people are going to think, what they're going to say, what they're going to do. Blah, 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 all fear holds them back. I give you a tremendous amount of respect and, accolades for making the decision to change and make
it took a lot, right? Because first I had a dramatic life-threatening incident, but I also been studying mindset growth for a long time. Now, it was superficial and eventually kind of like a sponge, it permeated to the point where it cracked me open. But I've been following Tony Robbins since I was in my 20s. Yeah. And so, but it's very interesting because I can listen to the same tapes that I used to listen 20 years ago. And it's like, oh, I never heard that way.
Yeah.
Right. Because now it's going to a deeper, different level.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it wasn't overnight. I wish it wouldn't taken me 46 years to wake the fuck up.
But that was your path, right? That's what we recognize is that was our path, right? We're going, all right, this is what it is. I'm 55 and I sometimes feel the same way. I'm like, shit, I wish I was fucking doing this when I was 40 years old, but it wasn't.
Whenever we actually had the energy, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't meant for us back then.
Yeah, and it made you who you are, Carmen, because I know sometimes we wish that we could tell ourselves to do it sooner, but it really was supposed to happen where it's supposed to happen because you had to learn all of that to be the best that you are. So tell the world what it is that you chose and how you didn't fall into it. You obviously had to have some kind of plan leading into it to walk away. So walk us through what steps you took, how you got there, why you chose the direction you chose.
Yes. So with full disclosure, I had received a stock vesting. So I had financial security. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to ease my way into transitioning to what I want my new life to be. By the way, since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a speaker. I used to study pretending I was talking to a Taylor Swift-sized stadium. Now, granted, I grew up in Panama. We didn't have internet. I didn't have a cell phone until I was 23. So this was just, inspiration from the universe coming to me. I used to imagine myself standing in this red dot. I thought it was like a light. It was a TEDx stage, but I didn't know back then what it was, right? Yeah. So I always wanted to be a speaker. Now, growing up in my culture and in our generation, at least, Renee, I think, Sierra, you're way younger than us. You look very young.
No, I'm up there. I'm up there. Thank you.
But I can imagine, Renee, with your Italian background, is probably very similar to the parenting of a Latina. I didn't have any way to tell my mom, you know what? I want to go travel the world and be the Travel Channel correspondent. I had three choices. You either are a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. That's it. And so I'm like, well, I don't like to read. So lawyer out the window. Done. I like to party, and doctors have to study too much and work too hard. My little sister is a doctor, and I think she just ended up with her last fellowship, and she's like 40. Oh, I know, right? And so I'm like, well, I like numbers, so I'll do engineering. And that was, it was kind of easy because I like numbers. But anyways, but so I always wanted to be a speaker. So I thought I will use my brain, be smart, start doing gigs here and there. And then when I had some sort of sustainable income, then I would quit. But then it was 3 days after my stock vested. I was in one of those meetings where a C-level person actually yelled at me in front of a lot of people. Wow. And I was like, fuck this shit. I have divorced people for less than this bullshit. Yes. So I'm out of here. It was literally just like that.
Literally mic drop. I love that you just said, fuck that shit.
She looked at her stocks and she said, you know what? I make more than you.
But you know, when I actually, for me, like what was like incredible is that I had that connection in my brain that I had left people
Yep.
who dare to yell at me at home.
Yep.
Or like,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
not even like physical abuse, but it's just like
Yes.
not being respectful.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And what would and I left my, you know, and I left my marriage like stable and make, you know, my kids now have to be split and all that.
Mhm.
And I am going to put up these for work?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the catalyst. I'm like, you know, thank you very much. I'm leaving. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go big or go home. So what is the biggest stage I can be in to establish my credibility? TED, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I'm pretty cute. I'm pretty smart. I have all these titles. I'm sure I get on the stage really quickly. Well, it was almost 100 rejections before I got a yes.
Wow.
And I think that's probably the most amazing thing on my, well, there's all these amazing things, but like my determination, and it's one of the things I coach on, and it's kind of like signature energy I bring, is like, it doesn't matter how hard it gets. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love the determination.
I do
again,
too.
right? Like it was 100 rejections. You manifested this. You dreamt that you were going to be on the stage. Didn't know what stage it was going to be, but
Yeah.
you manifested that you're going to go on the biggest stage. You're going to 10x conference, and you made it happen. Most people give up. They give up. They like, oh, I sent it in, it didn't work, and they didn't respond. Whatever. 100 times, people it took.
And you know what? It's not like every day I woke up like, oh my God, I got rejected again. I'm going to do it. No, I mean, I cry, I shout, I scream, I swear, but I keep going.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is
And
so
what were you doing in between? Because you were determined to get on that stage, but what were you doing in between? Because I mean, you probably had to rewrite, resubmit, and you did this 100 times. So you must have been doing something in between to still build your portfolio. And
Yes.
obviously that 100th video or 100th letter built enough up. They said yes.
Well, one of the things with age I've learned is that if someone knows something better than me, I'm going to pay that person to show me, right? And so, but sometimes we don't choose the right person, which is why people are, I think, afraid to trust coaches, and I'm a coach too.
Yep.
So I can understand when people's like, well, I've been burned before. It's like, yeah, but you kind of need to learn in the process or change your attitude. Like, I feel like every coach that I had in my life, and I had many, I have gotten something from it. Maybe not what I thought I wanted to get, but I've gotten something. And that way of seeing always helped me understand that I never lost. I always gained something. But so in the meantime, I hired coaches, and I had a coach that helped me how to write the most amazing talks. I had a coach that helped me how to, pitch to be on a stage, because that's a whole different skill set that I didn't have. And I don't like to be rejected. So that was very important, right? Because it's like, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. And I was speaking for free, so I could start, practicing. Practice makes perfection.
Yeah.
And I know people don't like that because there's something about being perfect now. I'm sorry, say that, Sarah?
I said I love to say practice makes permanent.
It makes permanent. Yes. I mean, I'm a high achiever, so I'm always striving for better. And you know what's funny? Because when I was doing martial arts, I don't do it anymore because I have too many injuries after tournaments, and I'm too old to do it. I'm too old to get beat up now. But I remember loving martial arts because it was the most humble thing to know that it didn't matter how much you practice, there was always someone better than you.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
And so, and I would, when I go to the point where I can pay private lessons, I will pay private lessons with the sensei at lunchtime. And so I will go on my lunchtime and get private lessons. And I remember, if you weren't on your game, you will get hit. And one time I did, and I came back to the office with a bruise in my face, and I was like, don't ask. Don't ask.
I promise it's not my husband.
I know, right?
My extracurricular activity.
Right.
Oh, my husband will be dead if he dares to do this, right?
But your grit and determination started from a very young age, it sounded like. I mean, for you to say, I'm going to go and I'm going to take private lessons from Sensei at lunch, that's determination. You did not allow any excuses to not get to the goal that you had.
Yes.
That's
And
really...
like you said, your goal was your goal as a young girl was it was to protect yourself. But then as you grew and as you moved up in corporate life, you did the same thing. Because whenever you started corporate, you didn't start out as a VP. You had to climb, you had to grow, you had to apply for those hard jobs. You had to put yourself in rooms for people to hear you differently. And that's what you did by getting on the TED. You were like, I'm going to put myself in a room where people can hear me.
It's funny because most people have been speaking for 3, 5, 10 years before they even dream about getting on the TEDx stage. And it's not that the TED organizers will not take you. If you have a good idea that fits with their theme, because that's the thing, you might have a good idea. It's not like my application sucked. It's just that maybe they didn't align. And I believe that everything happens at the right timing. God and the universe always taking care of you. And so I needed to get to a different level before I was accepted, and I could deliver the talk I did that has almost 60,000 views, which is amazing. Right. And so, but what happens is that people think like, I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I need to take one more thing or do one more thing. And I think that's what different, because I'm like, I'm going to get ready as I'm getting ready.
Yeah. I love that's kind of how the show started, Carmen. It's like, we're just going to do it and just learn, because we don't know what we're doing, but we need to do it so that we can grow and elevate and make it better, because like, we don't know how to do this. And so we just did it.
Just did it. Done. I mean, why not, right? Rip the Band-Aid and just do it. We'll learn as we grow. I mean, that's the name of the game.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I feel the same with my podcast, right? Like I look at the first episode I did 3 years ago comparing to, we just had a show, and actually they did this film, Renee's and mine interview, and my podcast goes out tomorrow.
Oh,
yes. And so, it's like so much growth. Right. Before, when I got on stage, I need to memorize everything. Thank God I have good memory. But now it's like, I just need to know what I'm talking about, and it just goes.
Yeah. And you just go.
So can we all ask, what was your TED Talk? What subject did you choose? What was it that got them? And we have to know.
So I have two.
What got them twice?
Yeah. So the first one is about burnout and how I survived it, and how leaders can identify burnout symptoms on their employees before it gets to the point that it got to me. So I'm basically talking about the tale of two leadership stories, because people burn out a lot, believe it or not. So it's a spectrum, and there are stages. So I have been in the train of burnout a few times, but I've been able to pull it back.
Yeah.
That last time, any good leader, if I was my leader, if I had a clone and I was my leader, I would have been able to recognize that the amount of work, stress, and pressure that I had was unsustainable. And it's okay to do that for a little bit, but not for a long time. And then throughout my career, I also, because I was trying to heal myself, and I got into all kind of fun modalities and mindset and all kind of things. And I discovered some archetypes when it comes to people, and we all fit into one. And so with that, and learning that for me, the need for reward, praise, recognition, achievement was like a self-destructive cycle.
Yeah.
A good leader should be able to identify that.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that. And so this is what it ended up being. And then I teach people how to pay attention to it so they can avoid for themselves and their teams burning out.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I mean, and you're fuck you to everybody. It wasn't just an overnight, this just came out of my mouth. This was built up for years. And that was your last straw. They could have completely have avoided that had they recognized and just taken care of you in a different way. And, you know, I always think of even like leaders in the direct selling industry, you know, everybody gets burnt out, but like you said, a great leader recognizes when somebody needs something different.
Yeah.
Or you know that they need something different and you're not bringing that up to them for whatever reason, because you think if you do, they might not perform anymore. And that is like, we have to remember people are humans.
Absolutely. So it's all about caring. And I talk about that in the talk. And it's like, when you become a leader of anything, corporate or network marketing, anything, right? Like your number one job is to care about your people.
Right.
Genuinely care about the people. It's just so easy. And I don't know why people have such a hard time with that.
Yeah. Well, and what message do you have for women in leadership? What do you want them to know, to understand?
When I get asked that question a lot, is to lead by example. You know, we want others, men and women, and any person who feels left behind. We need to lead the way we want them to behave. People pick up on your energy. People pick up on your fears. People pick up on your triggers. And so if you want to help other women succeed, you have to show up the way that you're telling them to do. Be confident. Have boundaries, be unapologetic, be authentic. You know, if your authentic self is, you know what's funny? I should have had it here because you would have loved it. I have this plush thingy. It's like this big. It's a bomb with an F. So one of my team members gave it to me. So when we have when we had staff meetings, we can throw the F bomb.
I love it.
That is
as I was drawing the bomb.
That is so cute. And you can get away with that with HR in the room. You're like,
with the stuff today. Yes. But you know, it's like I was authentic. And even though I did that, and I was, you know, making sure I didn't offend anybody and all that. But I think even the ones that were a little like sensitive about it, because they knew that I care about them so much and that I will protect them. And the F-bombs weren't to them. It was about all the bullshit that was happening, affecting them, right? And so it became like, you know, it's just a word. I'm like, I can say table with the same passion and intonation that I say fuck.
right.
And I tell my kids that.
Table off.
Right? Table off.
and that's how it seems like that's how you balance because I can relate to that, is the badass energy, but with compassion. It's like, yes, we're bold. We may say things and do things and act a certain way or be loud, be aggressive, all of this. But at the end of the day, we're authentically who we are and we share that. So when you're very transparent with others, they pick up on it. People have a no BS, you know, they can figure that out very quickly.
Oh yeah. What you see is what you get. Yeah. And normally what happens is people love me or they don't. There's no in between, like kind of like Carmen.
I hear you. I often say, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that's for everybody. We either vibe with you or we don't, like, especially with social media, right? Like we need like about probably 3 reels and we'll be like, wow, she's amazing. Or, nah, I don't know if she's really my thing.
Yeah. Yep. And that's the thing. Yeah. If I'm not your cup of tea, that's okay. Cause I like coffee. So fuck off.
I love that.
Right? Okay. So Carmen, what was your second TED Talk about? Was it the same thing or?
My second one is in Spanish and it was the first 100% in Spanish TEDx in the United States.
Oh,
And they invited me because this is what happened. And this was my plan. I'm like, once I get into the red dot, people are going to see how amazing I am. And it worked. After that, you have social proof that you can command. Yeah. And TED is such an amazing platform, but also it's very rigid. And so if you can deliver, because you cannot deviate from your script. So if you can deliver in a live audience that talk, you probably can speak in any stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that was last August, and it was in Delaware, right after I spoke at the United Nations. So that was kind of funny because I had 2 talks in 3 days, one in English, one in Spanish, different topics. And my brother and my mom were with me in New York City for the United Nations. And my brother was going crazy because I was practicing the talks back to back everywhere we were. Like we were walking around. I will stand in I like to do it in public because then it just removes anything. So we were in a park and I saw people. We were at a bar and I would get on the table. You had a little too many cocktails. I get on the table and practice.
Yeah, I love it.
And my brother was mortified, right? But it was about how to create the path for Latina women to become leaders. That was,
and you got to speak it in the language that was always your first.
It was my first. People ask me which one was easier, and I have to say the Spanish was more difficult.
Really?
Were you more nervous because it was your audience, or what was it?
So 2 things. First, I'm here in the United States, right? So I don't speak that much Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish is different if you're from South America, and then you go to El Salvador or Puerto Rico. It's all different.
There is that, but also my friends here who are Latinas, we do Spanglish, right? Because there are words in each language that when you translate them, it just loses all the power, right? So we actually speak Spanglish. It's very seldom that I am speaking 100% Spanish unless I'm speaking to people back home. So there was that. But also, this is the thing. My mom was in the audience. And even though she saw me speak before, she doesn't speak English. She's never understood what I'm saying. And I have been chasing her praise for 48 years at the time. And so that I remember telling my coach is I'm gonna puke.
Oh my God. Mom in the audience, getting her witnessing and getting to actually hear the passion.
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
That's really beautiful. Yeah, that had to have been quite a moment.
Yeah. It was great. And you know what? So in that one, I did get standing ovation in both, by the way. But in the Spanish one, I got interrupted by the audience clapping. If you watch the video, you can see it. I had to stop because they start clapping in the they went like crazy. So the first time they did that, which was about a minute and a half, I was like, I knock it out of the ballpark.
Yes.
So then I can tell. I don't know. Maybe now that I'm telling you the shift in the energy. Because I was, I was delivering amazingly, but I was nervous. Yeah. And then when that first thing happened, I'm like, oh, okay, I got this.
Total switch. Yeah, that must have been just an empowerment.
I
know. Yeah.
You literally gave me goosebumps. It tingled out my toes because of that moment. You're like,
yeah.
Was your mom one of the ones clapping, or could you not see? Because sometimes when the lights come in,
she was right there in the first row. Oh, I can see her very clearly. It's funny because one of my best friends, who is actually coming to New York to meet me, she lives in Virginia. She came to watch me. She doesn't speak any Spanish, but she's like, it doesn't matter. I'm coming to support you. She was clapping, and she understand.
Oh, that had to be great.
My brother was kind of clapping. My mom, she's very unemotional, right? So, and that was the thing growing up, right? Like if I did something wrong, she'll make sure I knew. But I never got that you're doing a good job and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was the beauty. I've done so much work to heal that mother wound because I knew I had it, right? That after the event, we were able to take pictures, and she came to the stage and she took a picture with me and the red dot. I had put it in social media several times.
Aww.
And she told me, like, I'm so proud of you. And when she said that, I've like, oh, good for you, because I didn't need that anymore. I thought I did, but I didn't, because I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's
you didn't
so
need that
good.
recognition anymore to keep going.
Yeah.
But it was different coming from your mom. But you were like, Mom, thank you so much. And you took
Yeah.
it gracefully and went on. Oh my God. I love
Yes, I love that. You are your own validation.
Mhm.
You know it, right? I mean, to live in that confidence in that space. I know it takes a long time, it takes time to get there, and it takes healing, and it takes a lot of, therapy and talking to get to that space. But what a space that is. You can tell with your energy that, like, yeah, so you not only have you arrived, you're like crushing it.
I'm just starting.
Exactly. And now they couldn't come to your first TED Talk, because where was your first TED Talk?
Oh yeah, that was you know the story. So after 100 rejections, it was like 98, which the last one was in my local town. And I'm like, for sure I'm getting this, right? Like it's right here, 10 minutes away. Of course they're gonna say yes. No, they say no. That was one of the ones that hit me the most, because I'm like, what?
Right.
And so I had already put, a lot of applications. I had this schedule where I apply, I block my calendar and apply, which is kind of what you had to do as a speaker. So it prepared me for that too. Like every day I pitch my keynotes to a lot of places.
Yeah.
And so a week later, after I cry and pout and it was really devastating, I got my yes, in Zimbabwe, Africa. And I remember looking up to the heavens and telling God, like, your sense of humor is not funny. It's not.
How magical, Carmen.
So then I pick up the map. I have it in my living room. Because I love to travel. So I have this map, right? And then I Google it to make sure. Well, I mean, like I knew it was in Africa, but I didn't know where. But then I chat GPT this thing. So the longest travel thing that you can go from one place to another in the world, because the directions of where you travel, is Alaska to Madagascar. Madagascar is an hour away from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
So it took me 56 hours. 56 hours to go from Alaska.
I forget you're in Alaska. I forget, because it's just hard to get anywhere from Alaska. Let's just get on it, right?
Yes.
Oh my God.
56 hours.
Yes.
And you traveled alone. Oh my God. And you traveled alone. It's not.
Oh yeah. But I'm a world traveler. I've been everywhere. It's like.
Yeah.
But to go, okay, I'm going to go by myself to Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
I am undermined.
You had somebody picking you up from the airport, I hope, right?
I did. I contacted the hotel, yes. And I know I'm undermining because a lot of people are like, oh my God, like, I can't believe you went there. Because the same thing was the year before I went to Egypt in a retreat. It was 10 women. And a good friend of mine didn't go because she couldn't fathom going all the way to Egypt. She's like, can you stop pick me up? I'm like, we can meet in JFK if you want. It's like, she's like, oh, I don't want to travel by myself. I'm like, okay, well, probably shouldn't go to Egypt because we're going to sleep in the pyramids and we're going to do all this crazy stuff.
Yeah. It was a dream of yours. It doesn't matter if, like I said, it doesn't matter if they told you had to go to Africa. You were going to go.
But go back to what I said at the beginning, right? If you tell me I cannot do it, like if you tell me jump, I'm going to say how high you want me to jump, right? And so it was amazing. You know what? We were there. Like most of the TED that I've seen, because now I help women also get onto the TED stage and prepare the talks and all that. And so most of the times, because it's local, you fly in the day before, you do your rehearsal, you talk the next day, and then you fly out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you never get to really connect with the other speakers, which is phenomenal if you are a speaker, because you want other people to know who you
Absolutely.
are, what you do. You always like getting asked, like, who can speak about this? Or you were so great, they're not going to hire you again next year because you just deliver a talk, right?
Yeah.
Who else can come, right? So it's good to have that network, right? And so because we were in Zimbabwe, we were there for a week, and I met the most amazing people. The most amazing people. So that was great too. And the locals were amazing. They were in African time for sure.
Yep.
I heard it's absolutely magical there. I mean, I just can't even believe the experience that you got. Like, and you had to wait 100 rejections to get it. But wow.
And
We
again,
over the parliament. We spoke at the parliament the day before the TED.
Wow.
Yeah, because they were like, "Oh my God, there's all these Americans here."
Wow. And and so the audience, I want them to really take this all in. Carmen was over the age of 40 when all of this came to fruition.
Yes, I was 47.
Like that is, so when somebody says, I'm too
48.
old, I can't, this isn't for, like, I don't know how, bullshit, right? Everything is figure outable if you want it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You just need to
Oh
want
my
it,
gosh.
and you figure out a way. Absolutely. And it
And
doesn't
you
matter.
figured out a
I
way.
mean, like you hear stories of people who have reinvented themselves at 60, 70.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah.
I love
Just
that.
take some collagen, right?
Absolutely. That's my girl. Absolutely. So where can tell them what you do, where they can find you, who your audience is, who are you attracting, and what's next for you, if there's something
we want to know.
Next. So you can find me in any social media at I am Carmen Paredes. So YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, even though I don't use it, Threads, all that. I help women get promoted. That's what I do. If you are in your career and feel stuck, feel unseen, feel unvalued, I will help you get to your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's the corner office or the next level. A lot of questions that I get are related. Oh, I'm a mom. Is that going to create more work? I'm afraid, work-life balance. You don't have to work yourself to death. And that's not what is going to get you there. And what's next for me? Well, my book should be launching in this fall. I am in the final reading review. So I'm reading the entire book front to back before I meet with my publisher at the early July. And I'm shooting for September. So.
And is your book going to, is it, you don't have to tell us the name or anything, but is it driven to help people, or is it more storytelling or autobiography? Like, give us a little tidbit of what it's going to be about, if you can.
So, no, I cannot tell you the title. I'll be killed.
Yeah, don't
but I can tell you that it's about leadership. Now, leadership starts within.
Yes, absolutely.
The way we do one thing is the way we do everything. I mean, Renee, you have a team, right? I don't know exactly what you do, Sierra, if you're in the network marketing too, but like I know from my conversation with Renee, you have a team. So you are a leader of people. And I mean, I'm also a leader in my house with my kids. And I'm telling you, teenagers, oh my God. I don't know what's worse, Gen Alpha, Gen Z, but So now the way the book is written is not your traditional, boring, corporate type book. It has raw personal stories on what happened and how I overcame that and what I learned from that. And with that said, there are 2 or 3 stories that I have never said in public that I am kind of nervous about putting them out there, but hey, it's going to happen.
Yep, it's going to happen. I'm so proud of you. This is just all so good. Oh, so good. I'm really so thrilled that that you came into my universe, into our universe. We know it was meant to be. So I am super excited. Good luck at your billboard. I cannot wait to meet you in person in December. We're going to whoop it up in Vegas. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Gonna celebrate. You need to come, Sierra. You need to come and join us in the celebration.
I do. I can't like not be there.
Yeah.
I mean, like we have to figure it out. We have to figure it out because if you guys are partying, we're no going to bed at 9, ladies. We're doing
no. Yeah, there's no going to bed at 9. Hell to the no. You kidding? No way. Well, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your story. You are totally inspiring, total badass, and can't wait for the book launch. So everyone, thank you for listening. Can't wait to hear your comments. And if you want to connect with Carmen, please go find her on social media and share her with your audience. So thank you for listening. Stay unapologetically badass, and we will see you on the next one. Bye, y'all. All right, Queens, that's a wrap for today's episode. But before you hit pause, let's talk about you and how we can help you slay every part of your life. If you're ready to feel fabulous and look like $1,000,000, I've got you covered with my badass queen coaching, sparkling touchstone crystal jewelry, and Bella Grace collagen, because glowing skin and a sparkly vibe, that's a power move. Check it all out at ReneeCarbonFleming.com. And my co-host Sierra, oh yeah, she's bringing the heat too. Not only is she rocking Bella Grace collagen for her glow game, but she's also the queen of chic with her fabulous clothing boutique. From boosting your wellness to leveling up your wardrobe, Sierra's got the magic to help you shine inside and out. Check her out at Linktree/Sierra Weiner 7. So here's the deal. Head to our websites, grab the goods that'll help you live your best life, and let's make everything about you unapologetically badass. And hey, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with your fellow queens, because the more sparkle in the world, the better. Until next time, keep glowing, keep slaying, and remember, you're a badass queen who deserves it all.